Hello, and welcome to another beautiful day with LiveNX. We have recently seen the release of version 25.1.0, the first of the calendar year 2025 versions. And we see it was released 15 days ago on March 10th, 2025. I'm currently doing an upgrade of my 24.1 server. Maybe it's 24.3. In either case, I'm doing this to test out the 25.1 upgrade pursuant to doing it for a client. So far, it looks pretty smooth. I had a few containerd and MongoDB restarts, so that's interesting. But I think that was just part of the upgrade process because it looks pretty stable right now. Anyways, on to the exciting stuff. We have some interesting stuff in store today, so this is pretty exciting. Build information, not a big deal. Ubuntu version 22.04, in case that's interesting to anybody. That's probably the most salient piece of information on this screen to be interesting. New features, major capabilities. Alerting network delay now supports dynamic thresholding, so that's pretty cool. With dashboards, could be interesting, but you can at least populate those particular dashboard capabilities with Live Assurance, Livewire, and Flow data. Integration, Livewire distributed forensic search. You can get to it from flow path analysis. I haven't used that in production, but anyone who has Livewires could be interested in that. With onboarding, this I think is exciting. Application groups and custom applications now support CSV import and export, which is actually amazing. I have a custom sort of database of applications that I always give to my clients, and I upload it. I have a template API call, just a series of like 50 API calls or more, and I just substitute in their IP address and their API key. And yeah, that's not too big of a deal to me, but for the mass market and mass import and export of custom applications, doing it with the CSV is much simpler and much more accessible. I obviously can't overstate that enough how great that is. Finally, reporting, limited drill down support for FlowStore v2 reports. I can't tell you the difference between FlowStore v1 and v2, so I don't know how much additional capabilities that gives us, but good to know, right? Now, minor capabilities. We're going to see on this screen, there's some stuff that still excites me. So, it's pretty major to me. Alerting. This is really good. Getting jitter and packet loss now supports multiple instances. Instead of just one single instance on or off, now you can have different instances with different filters and things like that. So you can get packet loss on a single device, and then on a different device have a different threshold, etc. Really great. And that's just one instant. You also have different business hours and things like that. All the different ways that you can shred up those alert thresholds, instances, things like that. Report drill down added to low WAN utilization alert. That's cool. It's great to be able to pivot straight to a report from an alert. So anywhere we can add that in, that's always welcome. Site reachability alert now supports a tag filter. Being able to filter things down is always great. Alert page now supports application filter for application-based alerts. Excellent. And then maintenance mode now allows scheduling of start and stop time. That's something I haven't used, but I may start to use it now that there's something you can do automated as opposed to just, oh, let's activate it, let's deactivate it. It's basically the same as telling everybody and then telling everybody again that it's stopped and started. Reporting. Added percent bandwidth to each application in the application bandwidth report. That should be interesting. Added not equals to the port flex search filter. So TCP or flow.port not equal to 25. Now you can filter it out, etc. And there's probably port range or comma separated lists of ports that you can put in there, hopefully. Added peak bitrate packet array columns in FlowStore v2 reports. And fix an issue or time series graphs would appear to be missing connections between points. I haven't seen that, but I guess it was more than a bug fix, so that's cool. Integrations support new live flow IP fixed field, measures packet time difference between first TCP SYN and the TCP ACK packet in a three-way handshake. This is great. This is just even more getting deeply into the capabilities of packet capture, allowing customization of API polling interval for the SD-WAN, formerly vManage. That's cool. Not restricted to whatever the current API polling interval is, whether it's a minute or 30 minutes or whatever. UX, this is where something very interesting happens. Not necessarily here. Improve styling and direction on WAN capacity planning story. I never use that, no big deal. But right here, ability to open a right-click drill down report in a new tab. This is absolutely game-changing. I haven't tested it out yet, so don't hold me to it. But I've wanted the ability to open drill down reports in new tabs, because up until now, you right click, drill down on application as top conversations. Okay, cool, we're doing that, but now we've taken over my current screen and maybe I want to do more things with it. So in order to do that while that new report's running, I'd have to reload the page or go back, duplicate it, go back to the report I was just using. You know, I had to do it, but now if I can avoid doing that, this is just great. So let's see what else. Live admin, Docker IP ranges to avoid IP conflicts. Never use that, no big deal, but I'm sure somebody can use it. Live assurance freemium offer included. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I haven't used live assurance at all. Live assist. We will see how live assist is improved. That I think is the natural language one aspect of it, at least, that LiveNX is starting to build in. And LiveNX now available in AWS Marketplace, so super convenient. OVA has been tested to run on Nutanix, which, I mean, anyone who's wanted to use it, I imagine you've been able to use it, but now it's tested and probably certified on Nutanix. LiveNX log export now generates a SOS report. I have no idea what that means, but anybody who does know what that means, I'm sure that pleases you. Next, the bug fixes. Not too big a deal on here. Issue changing the proxy would require a restart before Live Assist would use the new proxy configuration. Okay, we know what those words mean. Like I said, I haven't used that, but if that's been affecting anyone, it won't affect you going forward, hopefully. Also, fix an issue where the Grafana password would be reset after restart. I've never experienced that, but hopefully no one will ever experience it again. And customer issues. Not too big a deal here. I didn't see anything extremely alarming. Special characters and serial number prevented editing of that device. Issue or site WAN interface bandwidth by application report could not be executed. Haven't seen that. Issue where the config cannot be exported. This would be a big issue, obviously. So that's great. I haven't experienced it. I've done some exports and imports before. Issue where exported time series CSV data would be incorrectly truncated. That's interesting. I don't think I've exported time series CSV data, so I don't know exactly what form that takes. But if you've been experiencing that, no big deal anymore, hopefully. And finally, filter issue when drilling down from various reports into a service provider report. So I haven't done that. I haven't really dealt with drilling into individual service providers from particular reports. If anybody's interested in the API, these have been removed. So system server log, system log, system supported log type. There's the maintenance mode, start and end time parameters to that post. And then new endpoints added for CSV export of custom apps and application groups. As you know, this is a reference to what we went over way towards the beginning. New endpoints added for CSV import, which is also great. I'm gonna test this out for sure. And then finally, alerting alerts, path parameters, last state change start time, last state changed end time, and you can filter by last state change time. So that is all for the release notes for 25.1.0. I went into this into a little more detail than normal because there are some pretty exciting things that I think everyone should be interested in, and everyone should be eligible who owns it currently to upgrade, and I'd encourage everyone to do it as soon as possible.